You're up. You're up.
We on?
You're on.
Oh, wow. Welcome. Good evening, Burlington. All of the wonderful people of Burlington, we are happy to be broadcasting our Christmas show for this year. And as you can see, I was very, very surprised earlier when Santa, I had asked for him to visit, and he did stop. I was really surprised, very pleasantly pleased that Santa had a chance to stop in and say hello and take a break from his travels and the work that he's got to do tonight, especially tonight where it's the weather is kind of wet, a little bit cold. But anyway, my name is Pat Marino. I'm part of a group here. For those of you who have seen the show, I think you probably have an idea as to what we do. Our mission is to invite people, local people, people from out of town, people of import who can give us some insight with regard to not only what's happening in the world, but what's happening especially here in Burlington. I am very, very pleased to just briefly, the people that we intend. This is our last, obviously, our last show for this year, for 2019. 2020, we're looking forward to visits from people like Kevin Duffy from the 19 and a Half Project. Herb Chambers is a good possibility, the automobile magnate. Brendan Egan from Recreation here in Burlington. Jim Lyons from the Mass GOP, he's the Mass GOP chair. Lonnie Brennan, who runs one of the newspapers, one of the new newspapers in the area in Massachusetts. John Sanchez, Barbara Leroux, Paul Sagarino, and Kristen Kastner, all local people here in Burlington Town Government. But that is all next year. This year, most important is Santa. It was so good for you to stop in and visit with us. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you? I'm never too busy to stop by for a visit at BCAT.
You know something? I am so grateful that it has been, I think we were talking earlier, and you said that it's been about 4 years and you've had a chance to stop in.
It's been about 4
I
years,
think it's
yes.
wonderful. And I've heard from people subsequently, after the show, they mentioned that they were very happy to see Santa here. How are things in general?
Things are good. As you know, this is the busy season. You know, we've got about 8 days till Christmas now.
Yeah.
So this is the final of the final preparations. But it's exciting and it's busy.
Yeah.
And I like to be busy, so.
You like to be busy.
Of course.
You don't mind traveling.
I don't mind. I love traveling. It's the main part of my job is traveling.
Is it the sleigh and you have a chance to see what's going on everywhere?
Oh yeah, everywhere.
Yeah.
All the countries, all the cities, the towns. Santa sees them all.
I can't imagine. You think there's a remote chance one of these years I could take a little bit of a ride with you?
Well, sure. You've been
Just
good.
a short ride, just to see what it's like.
You've been good, so maybe I can swing that for you one year.
Can I tell my wife you said that?
I
I've
will
been good.
Yeah, I will tell. You can tell her.
All right,
yeah.
I will. I thank you very, very
Of course,
much.
of course.
How is Mr. Santa?
Mrs. Santa is doing quite well. She's at home tonight. She's taking care of the elves. She feeds them well. She's making sure they're behaving themselves. Elves need to behave too. There's a naughty and nice list for elves as well.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have to speak to the elves every now and then?
Not so often. They're a good group.
No.
I like working with them.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
They do their job.
They do their job, and they've done it very well for many, many years.
Yeah. How about kids today? You've already completed some of your route.
Yes.
You've already done some. I'm sure you've been at it because there's so much to do.
Yeah.
How about the kids today in general? Do you see any difference from the way they were, say 20 years ago? Do you think they're, I mean, I know technology is a big issue with kids.
Technology is a big part of it. The
Yeah.
kids have so much more access to technology these days, like the internet and social media and stuff. There's so much information out there that boys and girls can look up and they can connect with each other, make friends across the globe. So yeah, they've definitely changed, and
but kids are always kids.
kids are always kids. Kids will
they're
always
going
be
to do
kids.
the foolish little things, the funny little things
Hmm.
that kids do. There's some things, I guess, part of it. They just never ever
Hmm.
change.
Right.
You anticipate a lot of traveling. The weather's kind of beat out there. You don't mind the bad weather?
I mean, the most of my traveling is obviously Christmas Eve, traveling all around the world in one night. I do make, regular visits, throughout, November to December. Like, I'll visit the Burlington Mall. I visit you. A few weeks ago, I had a busy weekend in Burlington. Friday night, I was here at BCAT for their live Santa Claus show,
Oh yeah.
where they have me here, and I sit with my seasonal head elf, Chris Flaherty, and he helps me, deliver toys to the children of Burlington that come visit me.
Chris is a terrific worker.
He's all right. He's all right, but I like
Oh,
him.
I
I
like
like him
Chris.
fine. And then Saturday night, the following Saturday night, I was here for the Parks and Recreation tree lighting on the town common.
Yeah. Oh,
And that's
yeah.
a very beautiful
Yeah.
evening. That's one of my favorite events
Yeah.
of the year.
The tree light, the decoration they put out there this year, I think, is probably more than I can remember having seen. They've always had quite a bit. This year, it seems like it's even a little bit more.
Oh,
Really,
I
very,
think it
very
gets bigger
festive.
every year. I see it. They do fireworks. It's fantastic. They have local singers and vendors giving out snacks to the boys and girls. It's a lovely night.
Yeah.
And they had snow for it, which adds to the atmosphere.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we had that.
Okay.
Oh, you guys had that nice little snowstorm
Yeah.
like the weekend before.
Do you think Christmas has changed over the last 10, 15 years? I mean, what do you think? Do you see any changes that people are always going to be people regardless of political problems and social problems and economic problems?
Well, I mean, obviously the world's changed a little bit. The big thing that I hear more often than not is, it's not Merry Christmas, it's Happy Holidays. There's many
Yeah.
different people out there that celebrate many different holidays and stuff. So I think the major thing everyone needs to remember that this is the season of love and it's the season of giving. So if you say Merry Christmas, they might say Happy Hanukkah back to you, and you could just say Happy Hanukkah back to them. Just say Happy New Year or just say Happy Holidays. Have a great day. What's important is you're wishing them well this time of year.
Yeah. Yeah. I very much agree. That's very, very nicely said.
Hmm.
Can you there's a little bit of some people would call it discord in America today. Some people call it just an uneasiness and whatnot. As you go about your business and you visit as many homes as you can and people as you can, do you feel like you help calm them in terms of some of the problems they may have, whether they're personal or whether they're political or social problems and whatnot? How do you affect people in general? I mean, when they see you coming and they know that you're coming one way or another, do you notice a difference in them? After you've had a chance to be with them a little bit.
I'm not sure if it's just me. I think it's really just this time of year with, all the beautiful lights and the parties and the songs and the TV specials and stuff. I think it brings out the best in people, and really everyone's showing the best version of themselves this time of year, or at least they're trying to. It's a very beautiful time of year, and I think whatever you observe or whatever you believe, I think that's a universal truth. I can't remember the exact date. Santa's been around for a long time, so his memory fogs up a bit. But I think it was either World War I or World War II where the opposing forces had an armistice on Christmas Day.
Oh yeah.
That's a very powerful thing, and I think that's the message, or that's the truth of the season.
Yeah.
Everybody
Where they stopped fighting.
they stopped fighting
in
for
order
Christmas.
to wish one another Merry Christmas. Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard that too. I don't know where it took place, but just the thought of it alone is pretty strong.
Yeah.
That is powerful. Yeah.
That's the power of the season right there.
Yeah.
So it's not
But,
just me, it's everybody.
but you know, you're the symbol of it.
I guess so.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with kids.
Mm-hmm.
Kids know that you're coming. Um, I think, at least it's been my experience. They tend to want to be a little bit better.
Oh yeah.
You know, other than fighting with one another about who has which toy or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, I think they're probably better if they know that you are, or they feel certain that you're going to be stopping in, and they know that you're going to be stopping
That's one thing that'll never change with kids. They want to be good, so they get something from Santa on Christmas. That will never change, and it's nice.
Do you run into any kids who are maybe misbehave and you were forced to? Do you still leave coal if they misbehave?
I've gotten a little more easy with the coal in my later years.
You're getting older.
Yeah, I'm getting older. I cut them some more slack. Plus, natural resources aren't as good as they used to be, so coal is limited. But I mean, maybe, maybe you wanted a red fire truck, so maybe Santa gives you a green one instead. So I'll give you what you want, but maybe not exactly what you want. It's a compromise that you have to make when you're not, good for goodness sake.
How far are you going tonight? Can
Tonight,
you estimate? I mean, you have a lot of miles to go yet.
Tonight I'll head straight home to the workshop. I'll have dinner with Mrs. Claus. We'll continue to map out the trip. We're constantly remapping the trip. As you know, weather is a constant factor that's ever changing, especially here in New England.
Mm-hmm.
I think that part of the route changes more often than any other part of the route.
Mm-hmm.
But, we're looking at the weather, day after day, if we have to navigate around some storms, if we have to rearrange some destinations, so be it. But we'll get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How are the reindeer? Are they behaving?
The reindeer are great. They've been the best team like ever since day one. And speaking of weather, I don't know what I would have done without Rudolph. I mean, he definitely helped change the game as far as navigating through weather. God bless the red nose.
I was just going to ask you about red nose leads the way.
The red nose leads the way.
Leads the way.
Yep. Through the fog and the rain. It's a beautiful gift he has.
How do you keep them happy?
Carrots and plenty of exercise, a nice big barn, room to stretch, Sometimes leg room is all you need to be happy. That's why that's why I fly my own sleigh and I don't fly airplanes. Santa likes his leg room.
That is a wonderful way of putting it. If you have the leg room, you can be happy.
Yep.
Boy, you can.
That's why I always fly coach.
Yeah. So many
no, I
good
don't
things
fly
you
coach.
could say. I'm sorry?
That's why I don't fly coach. First class. Or I just take the sleigh.
No, but I mean, that expression can mean so many wonderful things. If you're just given some of the simple things in life, things that are just, leg room is
the
no
simple
big
things
deal.
really make all the
as though
difference.
you have to go buy something, and you can be very happy. It's like saying, if you have people who understand you, you can be very happy. That sort of thing.
It's the simple things. It really is.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Are the requests that come in from the kids, especially the ones that are a little bit older, I don't know, maybe 8, 9, 10 years of age, have their requests changed? I'm thinking in terms of technology as...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially with, video games and stuff and movies and stuff, They used to be, hard copies, VHS and DVD discs, and now they're all available online on the internet, so they're asking not for a DVD copy of the new Spider-Man movie, they're asking for a digital code to download the new Spider-Man movie. And
wow.
So it's taken some time to catch up with technology at the North Pole. It's a challenge every year.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you keep up with it? I suppose when you're not delivering during Christmas season, you have time. Do you spend some time practicing using this technology if you can? Or?
Oh yeah, Santa still hasn't signed up for Disney Plus, but he's still got his Netflix account. But we have a good team of elves that, do the research. They follow all the blogs and stuff. They know what new games are coming out. They know what the new technology forums are. They keep me on track. It's good.
Mm.
Santa still doesn't have an email set up, but I still like the old-fashioned letters the kids send. I like that.
Yeah, I think personally, I think old-fashioned letters have a lot more meaning.
Oh yeah.
If you take your time, you can express better. I think. I don't know. I have
Just writing something by hand, that says a lot. That's a lot more effort, I think.
about the hand.
Yeah,
and
writing with your hand.
Yeah,
That's a whole new level.
yeah, and maybe that translates from the head. You have to work a little more, so you really make the words count. That's very very interesting. What do you do to relax?
So after Christmas, me and the missus will go on a vacation until about March. And then right around April, we start, planning for next Christmas. There's a lot of kids in the world, so we really have to start working early.
Wow. Do you find a difference when you go into another country? I mean, in France, they probably say something like Joyeux Noël, Happy Christmas, their way, In Germany, they say it a little bit different. In Italy, they say it a little bit different.
Buon Natale.
But are kids the same all over?
They are all the same over. And, I've been around the world quite a few times, so I've picked up a lot of different languages. I can't speak them all perfectly, but I can say a little bit of each to get by.
And most important, if they write something, you
Yes.
can manage to understand what they're saying.
Yep.
Because they're probably telling you about how good they are,
See,
I would think. And yeah,
I have elf translators that help as well.
yeah,
There's no shortage of good elves at the North Pole helping Santa out.
yeah. You have quite a system there with the elves and Mrs. Santa. She's always on. Does she, while you're away, does she sort of oversee the elves and feed them and whatnot?
Oh yeah, she feeds the elves. She takes care of the deer. She keeps track of the naughty and nice list. Yeah, she keeps things running. I'm very grateful for her.
Does she share the letters that you get?
Oh, she sits and reads them with me all the
keeps
time.
a list of
Yep.
of who and what.
Yeah, she sits and reads them with me all the time.
Yeah,
It's nice. We like doing it together.
yeah.
We don't have any children of our own, so the world is sort of like our kids.
You got a whole world full of children.
That's what I'm saying. Like the children of the world are sort of
Okay,
like our kids.
Okay. So many things I wanted to. How do you physically? Do you feel pretty good? I mean, you don't seem to put on too much weight at all.
Thank you.
Santa's
Appreciate
kind of
that.
robust. But you feel pretty good.
Yeah, no, I feel great. I like taking long walks out in the snow. I found that keeps me in good shape. We have a gym at the North Pole. We have a swimming pool. It's nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we splurged on a swimming pool this year. It was nice.
You like to swim.
Yeah.
When you get a chance. Yeah.
Oh, it's nice. It's
With that-
indoors too. So
Pardon me?
it's an indoor pool as well.
Oh, it's
so
an indoor too.
yeah.
But I'm going to say, with your beard, that's going to be you managed to swim okay.
Oh yeah, this takes some maintenance, but yeah.
It's
I have a beard like cap for when I
It's a
swim.
beautiful beard. It
Thank
really
you.
is.
I work hard on it.
Yeah. So many things I wanted to, up on the North Pole, where your home is. Do you have, do you have telephone service? Do you have, are you able to keep in touch at odd times, not necessarily during the year? Or do you pretty much just put the phone in order, like when you get close to Christmas?
Oh no, the phone's running 24/7. I mean, every now and then a child will be misbehaving, and then, excuse me, their parents will be like, "Don't make me call Santa and tell you've been bad." So they do have to call, and I leave that line open, 24/7, 365, just in case I need to deliver a little warning to someone who might be misbehaving around March or April, not too close to Christmas, because I'm watching no matter what time of year.
Wait,
I'm checking on you.
You still give them coal if they're misbehaving?
No, I've been slack on the coal. I don't give coal too much anymore.
You're getting a little bit softer to the kids. You really like
In
them.
a way, I mean, I won't give coal as much these years, but I might not exactly get everything on your list. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Where are you coming from tonight? Are you coming from another country? Are you coming from literally from the North Pole? I know you're going to be here for just a little bit, just as a little bit of a rest, and probably grab a sandwich or something, and then you're on your way. Are you coming directly from home, or have you already made a bunch of stops?
I was at the Burlington Mall for a little bit today.
Oh,
Yeah, that was the majority of my day, and then I'm going to swing back home after we're done here tonight.
oh,
Yeah,
oh. Burlington Mall.
it's a
Oh,
beautiful
that is
mall.
nice. Yeah.
Santa does
You
his
saw
Christmas
some
shopping.
kids there?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
the children of Burlington are very nice and very well behaved.
You know, I sort of touched upon this before. Um, do you think your Christmas has changed in any way?
Not so much. I think the core values of Christmas are still there. I would say gift giving habits have definitely changed.
Hmm.
Like, 'cause we have gift cards and gift certificates now. But
Yeah, it seems like, yeah, well, the price of things are always going up. They rarely go down.
mhm,
So some of the things that people would normally, but you hear about these people who run to when there's a sale of something,
mhm.
they want to buy. Um, but you manufacture pretty much everything that you give.
Yeah, we talk to a lot of the toy companies, and we're in constant communication with them, saying, what do we need to make this? What do we need to make that? And obviously, they've been very nice and very helpful to Santa and his elves, and they help us, make
Mhm.
all the toys that everybody likes, all the popular stuff. We definitely keep that on stock.
Hmm. How is Rudolph? Is he behaving?
Oh, he's very well behaved. Celebrity has not gone to his head. He's a very nice, humble reindeer.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah. Despite it, but he leads still with his nose.
No, he still eats with his nose.
Nose. That's good. Um, do you find a difference between kids in America and say kids in France or Germany or Italy?
Not really. No, that they all still have the same belief in Santa, and they all still want to be good, for goodness sake. So they get something from Santa on Christmas morning.
And you have learned how to say hello to them, or did you behave? Some of the basic phrases, especially
Oh yes, yes.
in
Well,
other, in
they're
other
supposed to be
countries.
in bed when I visit. On
Yeah. Are
Christmas
they?
Eve. Most of them are.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes, they try to sneak a peek and they think Santa didn't see me, but I saw him. I saw him. I see everything.
You see everything.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and you're pretty pleased with everything that you see.
I'm very
I mean,
pleased.
today, given compared to past years, you really think kids. Parents very quickly, and a lot of people find fault with kids. I know there are a lot of good things they do, but there are some that they do miss. It's not quite like it used to be. A lot of kids would sort of misbehave, spend more time out. Today, the kids seem to be spending more time with school, electronics, maybe music and whatnot. Do they ask you for a lot of those things, like musical instruments and
Sure. Video games and
yeah, yeah.
yeah, of course they do, and I'm always happy to oblige as long as they're behaving themselves and they've been good all year long.
How do you feel about America?
I love America. I love coming here.
Yeah, but I mean, there seems to be some division in America today. How important is it that everyone take that, whatever it, if it's division or not, and they just put it aside and say, "This is America. I'm Santa Claus, and we all love one another."
Well, it sort of harks back to that story I told you about the war where the two sides.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In the middle of a battle, they stopped, and that was an unbelievable story that they could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I think it was during the First World War.
Yeah, but it's a true message that whether varying beliefs or wherever you come from, we're all on the same team. We're all working towards the same goal. We're trying to make a better world for our children and our children's children, and so we just need to remind ourselves of that sometimes and just shake a hand and say, all right, how do we make this better for both of us?
Yeah, yeah. That's so very, very true and very well put. How far are you going to be going tonight?
I'll just swing back home after tonight. I don't know the exact distance from Burlington to the North Pole, but it's a pretty quick ride for me and the deer.
Hmm.
We've gotten it down to a pretty concise back and forth trip.
Hmm. I once flew over the North Pole.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I wanted so much to, but we couldn't land there. We had another destination, and I just thought one of these days we might try to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Come in, would it be all right to
Yes.
come visit?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
I love
and,
having visitors.
just to be able to see all the elves working,
Mm-hmm.
to see Mrs. Claus. I often think of her, especially this time of the year, and you always leave her at home. Of course, it would be hard for her to travel, but you also, I would imagine, need her to oversee what's going on. They're still producing goods.
Well,
for you
she's
to-
my partner in crime. I can't do it all without her. And she's camera shy, so
Yeah,
she lets
is.
me. Yeah,
shy.
so she lets me do
Yeah.
the publicity.
Is she feeling good? Is she healthy?
She's feeling great. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's in
Doesn't
good
mind
shape.
the cold weather.
No, she doesn't mind the cold weather.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
I asked that right out front before we got married. I'm like, "Are you okay with moving to the North Pole?" And she said yes. And she still says she doesn't regret that decision to this day.
But it gets a little bit warmer at times, doesn't it? At North
Yeah.
Pole? Yeah. I mean, the sun.
By a
comes
few
up.
degrees.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
don't mind it. We have central heat in the house and the workshop,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it all works out.
And the elves are they don't mind. They
No, they don't
they're
mind.
used to it by now.
Oh,
and
yeah.
certainly the reindeer don't
We've all
mind.
come very accustomed to it. And, a little cold isn't so bad once in a while.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. But the snow is your home.
The snow is my home.
The snow is what makes Christmas Christmas in many, many ways.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you like to find little bits of, I don't know, maybe dessert or something, or some kind of special piece of dessert or something special, whether it's fruit or candy or whatnot, as you're traveling, Do you feel good about that if somebody has remembered to leave something for you?
Santa still loves his milk and cookies. I'm very grateful that the children always leave me milk and cookies every Christmas Eve. Sometimes, and I also like it when they leave carrots for the reindeer. That's very thoughtful. of
Carrots
them.
for the reindeer.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot the poor reindeer. Yeah,
Yeah.
carrots would be terrific for them.
Mhm.
Good energy.
Right.
And they probably enjoy it.
Yes, they do.
I hadn't thought of the poor reindeer out there waiting, and so they get carrots.
Well, I don't go. I try to spend at least,
I'm
no
sorry.
more. I try to not spend more than 5 minutes at at each house
Each
delivering
house,
gifts.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's one night. We have to keep it concise.
Yeah. Do they often leave things for you?
Oh yes, it's milk and cookies. Sometimes it's letters saying thank you and Merry Christmas. And the carrots for the reindeer. Or they'll draw a picture for me, and that's nice. I have a nice book of all the pictures and letters that children have given me over the years. Because that's what makes it worthwhile.
It makes it worthwhile.
Yes.
That's a very profound statement. When you think about it, the whole reason for being for Santa is that people are good. People are basically good, and I tend to agree. I think they are. I think the difficulties that we produce are probably made by us when they, most part, could be avoided. That's your mission. That's your mission. That's what you are all about. Is making people realize that they can be happy with just simple things. They don't have to be very involved. And you enjoy that mission.
Yes, I love giving. This is the season of giving. And, a gift can mean the world to someone if it's coming from a person, if it's coming from the heart. If it's something from inside here and there's some significance as to why you're giving that gift, then that will resonate with them and it'll mean a lot more to them than you could know.
Yeah. Very well said. Yeah. Are you feeling your age?
Some days, not today though. Feeling
Some
quite
days
youthful
you
right now.
do.
Yeah.
Does that mean you get a little tired, sleep a little longer, or?
The 26th I will definitely be sleeping in. Actually, I'll be sleeping in Christmas morning as well.
Yeah, you'll be tired, I'm sure.
Oh yes.
Going and going, 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 running all over. Wow. Appetite pretty good?
Appetite's good.
Yeah.
I eat my fruits and vegetables.
Lots
Doesn't
of,
look it sometimes, but Santa eats healthy every now and then.
and the reindeer, you make sure they're fed, they're well
Oh yeah,
fed.
they're very well. They have to be very well fed for the
Yeah.
long journey that they do every year.
Yeah.
And they're constantly exercising. Sometimes I exercise with them.
Yeah.
So
Just take them on a run.
yeah, that's what we do. We run together.
Yeah.
It's nice. Running through the snow with the reindeer is nothing like it.
You know, in many ways, you have a fascinating life. It's not the common life.
No.
And here you are, an individual whose goal in life is to prepare enough goods to make many, many kids happy. That's almost I don't know how to express it. It's almost an idealistic story, like, you know, what do I want to do to make kids happy? And yours is to manufacture goods, to be in touch with them, to answer their needs as best you can, and then above all, to be able to go and deliver to them. That's really that's quite a story. Yeah, and you fulfill it very nicely.
Right. It's not easy, but it's the life I chose, and I love it, and I wouldn't choose it for anything else. So, and it's worth it in the end.
And Mr. Santa doesn't mind when you're gone. You're gone when you're gone. Well, of course, I mean, I know you move fast, but you know, there's still quite a bit to do. So you're gone for a little while when you leave. So she doesn't see you. I don't know, for a day or 2 days at a time. Yeah, you keep going until the sleigh is empty.
She keeps herself busy, and Santa has a cell phone, so I'm always keeping in touch with him.
Oh, you do have a cell
Yes.
phone. Okay. So you are a good modern Santa.
Yes, I am.
You
Yeah.
keep in touch with her. You call her every now and then, ask her how she's, if
Oh, yeah.
everything's okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's really nice. It must be quite a joy when you, I'm thinking of the typical house, probably one that sits sort of alone, and you see the Christmas lights all over it, and you know, it kind of a glow on it.
Right.
And call it a Christmas glow. It must be a good feeling to be up there and to see that.
I love Christmas lights. I love seeing the houses
decorated.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Especially when the snow falls and the way the lights hit on the snow. It's a beautiful sight. It really is.
That is interesting. I can imagine what it must be like from way up there looking down and seeing. How far do you expect to travel tonight when you leave here? You're going to be, do you have a long route yet tonight?
No, it's just we'll head straight home. Might stop for some milk and cookies at a local grocery store just for a snack on the way home. But other than that, you know, might swing by, you know, a couple malls to see if there are any children who are up late still waiting to see Santa. But I think tonight we'll just head home and relax for now, because there's not going to be a lot of time to relax anymore for a few more days at least.
Goes by so fast.
Right.
Really does. So most of your life, most of your effort is preparation.
Of course.
Getting ready, fulfilling requests, knowing who has been good and who hasn't been good, listening to parents, to relatives, sort of keeping in touch, reading the mail. I mean, you even in the off season, I would think that you're pretty busy.
We have some months of downtime, but yeah, you know, I'm keeping busy. But I love this time of year, so sometimes it doesn't feel like work. Hardly it ever feels like work.
Do you think kids are born good?
I think everyone's born naturally
Born good. Everyone.
Yes.
So the world or society entices them to do things that are not quite right.
I think so. I think, you know, everybody gives into temptations once in a while. And
Hmm.
that's natural because we're all just only human. Um, but yeah,
That's a nice way of
yeah.
putting it. Anyone, because we're all human, and yeah, we all do give in to temptation from
Hmm.
time to time.
No one is perfect.
Sometimes it's stealing another person or another child's piece of candy. Could be
Hmm.
simple. Could be much more than that.
Of course.
But basically, you think that most people, all people, are basically good.
Hmm.
Uh, and
And
they look to do good.
yes, and obviously, people are led astray and they do bad things.
Mm.
And there's a lot of reasons why, and there's a lot of reasons, or there's a lot of things we could do to change that. But I think just like the spirit of Christmas, just love your fellow man and reach out your hand and offer help. I think that's all there is to it. Is to take care of each other.
Mm. That overrides all the politics in the world.
Hmm. Definitely.
And if and there is a lot. I'm sure you know there is a lot of division right now. But if they could put down those differences and look to one another and realize that we're all human,
Hmm.
and that you are there to oversee and to encourage us, um, maybe it could make a difference. It really would make a great big difference if everyone would adhere to that.
If everyone retained the belief that, obviously, people get older, they don't believe in me as much as they did when they were younger. But if everyone still believed that there was a Santa Claus watching over them and seeing, if they were good and if they were bad, I think with that proper motivation, I think anyone could, try to be a best version of themselves. If they
Mm.
still believe that I'm out there watching, seeing that they're behaving,
Mm.
and I am.
Mm.
So,
But I think everyone has a Santa Claus. Sometimes they don't call him Santa Claus or call whoever the person is. But I think most people realize that there is a Santa Claus.
hmm
That is, if you seek to, um, how can I put it? If you seek to believe in him, to to exchange ideas and thoughts with him, that he does really exist.
hmm
You know, even if it's someone even a little bit different from Santa Claus. How many years now have you? Do you know? Can you estimate how many years you've been there
oh,
up in the North Pole? Has it been?
at least since oh man,
Is it
we're
over?
going back. We're going back into like just double-digit years. It's been a long time. I've seen a lot. But
Gee,
but
you're
yeah.
when you're working, you work very very hard.
Mhm.
When you do have time off, you're resting. I think you look as though you still have some energy.
Oh, I
I
do.
do. You do. Now, it's not easy to get out in that sleigh and push the reindeer to make them go and
Right.
and then stop and go and stop
Mhm.
and go and stop and go. I can imagine it gets difficult.
Well, when you're motivated and when you like what you do and you're enthusiastic about it, you can
Mm.
do anything.
How do you reward them, the reindeer?
They really love their carrots. Um, I let them run around. They like to run around and they just like to play their reindeer games. So as long as I give them their free time, they're
They play
happy.
with one another.
Yeah, they play with one another. Yeah.
Hmm. Is Mrs. Claus does most of the cooking
Yes.
for the group?
Santa's learning how to cook. He's doing his best.
You have any specialties that you working on? Do
Uh,
you like pasta? Do you like stir fry? Do you like
Santa's specialty is the grill right now.
the grill?
Yeah, the
Okay.
standard steak and burgers,
Okay.
and then we're going from there.
And then the rest of the meal can be just sort of things that, like a little salad maybe, or of course something to drink with it.
Mhm.
A good steak is always a
Oh,
great. Yeah, there's no
absolutely.
doubt about it.
No doubt.
There are people who say, "Well, you shouldn't have a lot of steak," but once in a while, I think it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in a cold climate all the time, so you need some
Oh yeah.
some
We need the
calories.
protein. Yes.
Yeah. Any interesting stories with regard to some of the kids that you've already seen? Any that are especially misbehaving or who maybe said they were going to leave you something and they didn't? They said they were going to leave you some cookies and milk and they didn't, or intentionally. Or, I mean, I can't imagine every kid is an angel, I'm sure, because it's natural to be a little bit mischievous, I think,
Of course, yeah. Um, I've never had a misbehaving child in front of me. The past, uh, it's been a few years since a child actually misbehaved in front of me, which is nice. I don't like to discipline children. That's not why I'm here. That's not why I do what I do. But I just tell them, hey, let's just settle down. Let's talk for a little bit, and tell me what you want for Christmas and
Do you
stuff.
ever have one write to you afterwards and apologize? They were, I don't know, whatever it was they did that wasn't quite, and you couldn't give them a gift, and then they try to get in touch with you and they want to tell you that they're sorry.
They file a complaint with human resources.
Yeah.
That believe it or not, that never happens. More often than not, children understand, why they didn't get what they got, and they accept it and they work hard the next year, and maybe that thing that they didn't get shows up on the list again for next year, and maybe that's the year they get it. So it's hard work and perseverance. Good things come to those who
But you're
wait.
convinced that all kids are innately good.
Oh,
they,
yeah.
they were born to be good. Some of them are mischievous. Some
Oh,
of them
yes.
will look for, especially if you have a brother and a sister or a brother and and they tease one another or whatnot. But basically, all the kids are, God, I can't even remember what it was like. Can you remember what it was like when you were young?
Oh,
Very,
it's been
very
a long,
young?
long time.
Long, long time.
Santa was
Yeah.
an only child, so he only had himself to
Yeah.
blame if anything went wrong.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I think all children, they are good, but like most children, as they grow up, they're learning, and so they learn what's right and what's wrong.
Okay.
So sometimes they might do more wrong than right, but if they remember, what you did is wrong and what you didn't do is right, then they'll get better with experience. And as they grow
Especially
older.
if the parent or you make it known that what they did was not right and that
Right.
they should correct it. Yeah.
Yeah. As long as we're talking about our feelings and what's right and what's wrong, we'll get to where we all need to be.
That's very. I don't want to say idealistic, but it's a nice thought. It's nice to think that everyone can be striving for that same thing. Do you have any special things that you like to do at home? Don't tell me sleep, because I can understand
I do like
that
to
if you're not-
sleep.
Yeah. No, you'll be tired, I'm sure. But I mean, other than that, do you play in the snow? Do you play in the sunshine? Do you help out and feed the reindeer? Do you take them somewhere? How do you reward them? There are so many good things that can be done. Do you provide something for Mrs. Claus? Do you try to give her something that she might want every year?
Oh yeah, I give her a Christmas present every year, of course.
Yeah.
I can't tell you right now on live TV what it is, but I definitely get her something special every year. The reindeer, they like having their free time running around playing in the snow. We're working on something next year. I know you folks in Burlington have like a dog park where dogs can run around and play. I think we're working on making a reindeer park.
Oh.
So that'll be fun for them.
Mm.
But no, I do like to, exercise. I like to read. I like to watch movies. It's the
You
simple.
like to read?
Yeah,
Good for you.
I like the simple things.
Do you like history or art or anything in particular?
Well, every now and then I like to, you know, doodle. Sometimes when I'm bored, I'll just bring up the sketch pad and just draw whatever comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
I think drawing's a great exercise.
Drawing is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
letting your
Yeah,
mind and your hand connect and just
sketching,
yes.
sketching scenes, like, for example, or people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Scenery, you know, little
Oh,
cartoon
I can imagine
figures.
scenery. My God, you must see a scenery. You know, I can't even begin to imagine that kind of
Listen,
scenery.
I like to take pictures too.
Mm.
I like photography, especially taking pictures with other folks. That's the whole thing. When you see Santa, you have to take a picture with him,
Mm-hmm.
and I love taking pictures with people.
Mm.
Yeah.
You've been doing this now for quite a few years,
Mhm.
and it's remarkable how you find the energy every year, you and Mrs. Claus, and the reindeer too, to be able to go out and do it again and make everyone happy. Do you think about the future? Do you think you're going to be going? Can you go on forever?
I hope to do this as long as I can
Yeah.
because I love doing it. So yeah,
Because of the
it makes-
response.
because of the responsibility, the obligation that I feel,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, it makes me happy, and if it makes me happy, then I'll keep doing it. So I can see myself doing this for a long time.
Because of the responsibility that you feel. That's something that you yourself personally have felt. It's not something that someone said to you, you know, why don't you be a Santa Claus and help people? You have felt from the beginning when you began this whole thing that it was important. Why? To make people happy, to feel you feeling fulfilled at what you're doing, especially to see smiles on kids. Well, is it anything in particular or just a little bit of everything?
I think it's all about sharing your gifts, your
Okay.
talents with people. I think that's the biggest gift anyone can give is to share what you have with others, like your talents and your feelings and your emotions and your talents. I mean, and from a very long time, I enjoyed giving gifts and making gifts, and really the only way to take full advantage of that is to give gifts. So, you know, I just enjoyed giving gifts and seeing the happy reactions on people's faces when they received them, and so I just kept doing it. I really believe that there's no greater feeling than giving someone a gift and seeing their face light up when they open it and say like, "Oh my goodness, you got me that." That there's nothing like it. It's a truly remarkable feeling.
It's very human.
Yes.
It's a human need,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to, I think it's quite normal to, so you are the piece that makes it happen. And I guess that's, it's nice to hear you say that's important to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really I'm honored that you were able to come here again this year. It's been now what 2 or 3 years now that you've been able to start. I have
4 years, I believe.
4 years. Okay,
Yeah.
I have requested. I do every year. I think you get my request. I think a couple of times Mrs. Claus received it and said she would speak to you. But when you make the effort to stop in and make contact with it, I'm truly honored. I think that is really wonderful, and I really, really appreciate it. What can I do to help you? Is there anything that I don't know what I can, if there's something just being understanding or?
I think it just like, and this is what I would say to anyone out there is, especially this time of year, just be kind to one another and take care of one another. That's all I ask. And you share your talents and the gifts that you have with everyone, because there's no greater gift than a gift that comes from here, from your heart, from you, your personality.
Doesn't have to be a package.
No.
It can be your intent. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, intent. That is absolutely the core of it.
Why do you think Santa will always be important to the world? For these very reasons that we're talking about, or?
I think it's nice to believe in someone like me that who's just a regular guy that has the power and the resources to just give everyone a gift, just and not for any monetary gain. It's just because it's the right thing to do, and it's the nice thing to do. I think that's something very powerful that still resonates to this day, and I'm glad that we're still believing in me, and we still teach children about me to this day.
Will you get home sometime tonight or tomorrow morning or?
Tonight. I'll take the fast lane
Are you
home.
going to be able to cover that much ground?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are we running out
See,
of
I
time?
don't know how we're running for
I'm
time.
not sure either. I believe our timer turned off or didn't turn on. I think we have a few more minutes.
A few
though.
more minutes. Yeah.
Yes.
I hope we have a bunch of minutes. I'm enjoying talking to you.
I enjoy being here.
It's really it's a pleasure, and especially to hear you the way you honor kids in particular, as well as people in general. I think that's very important. That's what Christmas is, I guess. Really, you know, to some people it's a religious affair. But even if it's a religious affair, it's still a matter of giving, and you're the symbol of giving.
Thank you.
You're the symbol of that yearning, I think, in the human heart to want to give and help someone else. You personify that. You are the symbol of giving in America, and that's so very, very important.
Thank you.
I hope we continue this in the future. I hope that you stay well. I hope that Mrs. Claus. Does she have any particular ailments? Is she okay?
No,
you know?
she's in good shape.
She's in good shape.
She's the one keeping me out of the ailments.
She make you eat your vegetables.
Yes, she makes me eat my vegetables. She makes me get out of bed early and exercise.
Do you have
She's
a
a
little? It's
good
cold
partner.
up. It's cold up there. Do you have a little bit of wine every now and then?
Yes,
little bit
just
of
once
wine
in a
is
while to
good.
keep me warm.
It's good for you.
Yeah.
Not a lot, just a tiny bit, and it warms you inside, you know,
Yes.
and makes you feel good. What kinds of things do the kids leave for you, or the people that you go to? They have, I know, cookies.
Yep.
Do they-
Sometimes candy.
Okay.
Um,
Cider and
cider.
yeah,
Yes.
eggnog is probably
Eggnog. Yep.
yeah.
All the typical Christmas or
Yeah.
seasonal treats. Yeah. Candy canes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine you must be. It must be kind of exciting to go to the next house and see what they have.
Oh,
If
yeah.
they've left something, doesn't have to be big. It can be something small.
I try to stay away from it all year round because I know I'm going to get a lot of it in one sitting on Christmas Eve. I have enough milk and cookies in one night than I need for the entire year.
Do you ever share those cookies with a reindeer?
Well, Santa doesn't carry a lunchbox. Well, no, they like their carrots. They're not big on cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carrots they like, yeah. Carrots are good for them.
Yeah.
I think at least that's what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
Back home, they when you finally do get back home, they don't seem to age. They seem to stay pretty slim and strong all the time. They get lots of exercise on the off year when when they're not working.
Oh yeah, they're out walking about every day, no matter what. They don't just stay in the stables.
In that cold, brisk air, probably good for them
Yeah.
too.
It gets them running.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. No fighting between them. They get
No.
along.
There was a little bit when, you know the story of when Rudolph first came around. They wouldn't let him join in any reindeer games, but soon they saw his natural talents and gifts, and now everybody works together and everybody's happy.
Yeah, that's great. That's really, really, really super. I don't. Who takes care of your sleigh, by the way?
I have an elf who's specifically in charge of taking care of the sleigh.
like making sure that the runners are all
Yeah,
greased
yeah, he's
and
like
ready
an
to
elf
go.
mechanic.
Yeah.
He's quite good. He's worked on my sleigh for many
He's
years.
the Santa mechanic.
Yes.
The official, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have, you recognize him as the person in charge of your sleigh?
Oh, yeah.
If there's a complaint, you go to him. I
Right.
mean, if there's something that's not quite.
Well, sometimes I'm in the workshop working with him, working on the sleigh.
Gee, I don't know. So many things. Do you ever forget anyone
Oh,
accidentally?
I try not to. I really do. And thankfully, I haven't forgotten anyone yet in all these years.
You've been successful all these years.
Successful, yes.
You know, might take I mean, if you're in this country and you have to get over there, but you do manage to get over there and make sure that
we make it work all in one night.
Especially young children who are looking. I mean, there's the expectation. It would be devastating, I think, if you left them and didn't respond to them. You said that you like giving, the whole idea of giving. That's quite a dedication of your life to be that. And I guess that's the symbol that you represent. That's what you are to, certainly to Americans, and not only Americans, but people all over the world. And I think it's very important for people to believe in something like you, you know? Because if we didn't have you, I don't know what we would believe in. I mean, there's nothing that can replace what you do. Do you feel like you'll fulfill that role?
People have told me before that, you know, Santa Claus is sort of the spirit of the season, and, you know, what he represents is sort of, you know, the whole idea of this time of year, of taking the time out of your day to give someone something special that comes from the heart that will really matter to them. So it's very nice, and I'm very humbled and very honored that people sort of emulate the idea of Santa Claus when they're giving gifts to one another. It's touching.
It also brings not only people to you, but people to people together.
Right.
I think to be a little bit more understanding, to be a little bit more loving, to be a little bit more responsible for what they do.
Right.
You're a very important cog in human nature. It's certainly my hope, and from what you've said, there's lots of hope. You hope, I hope. We expect, actually, that your tradition will just go on forever, because it brings so much good to the people who desperately need it, because the world can be very difficult.
As long as there's Christmas, I'll keep doing what I need to do. I think I heard our timer go off in the studio. I think we're just about out of time. Or I think we are out of time.
Santa, I don't know how to say thank you.
Thank you.
You are you're an important cog in the whole chain of humankind, and that's important.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, please, you stop in. Even in the middle of the summer, if we're running a program, don't hesitate if you're in the area to stop in. But you're busy up there. I know you're going to be busy. Terrific job.
I'll be around.
God bless you.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Are we definitely out?
I think we're out. So I think we'll say Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thank you. Keep in touch in the new year. We have lots of good shows. Please join us. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
And Merry Christmas.